Hi folks, and welcome to the New Jedi Order reviews. Alright, we're not done with the comic books, folks. We're going to talk about Dark Horse Comics book Invasion. Now this went 16 issues overall, 17 if you count issue 0, but I'm going to break it up into the 3 story arcs that it gave you. Now the first time this came out, it was just called Invasion. But the subtitle of this one is called Refugees. Now, first off, issue 0 is just an introduction to the Vong. It's very early in the battle, and I believe all I can remember is like a Chiss and a Wookiee co-pilot. I think they're smugglers. They encounter some, Vong, and here come the Vong into the galaxy. They're spreading out into the galaxy. Who are these wild Vong and everything? And okay. We already knew about this because this comic book came out in 2009. Years after New Jedi Order had wrapped up, they decided to make a comic book, but I'll get into that later. The story revolves around a character called Finn Gallifred and his family. They are the royal family of this planet, and the prince is the only one to escape the invasion. His family get captured along with all the Vong. They actually go into start an underground rebellion. His dad's starting it. His sister and mother are also trying to fight the good fight on the planet. Meanwhile, Finn decides he's going to be a Jedi because he has the Force in him, right? Because he's got to be cool. So Dark Horse said, let's give him the Force. And he's on the planet, Yavin 4, training at Luke's Academy with Jacen and Jaina, because why not? They have nothing better to do. Now, I can kind of understand why they had him interacting with Jacen and Jaina, made him best friends with them, because they're popular characters, and we want to put popular characters in there. But honestly, I don't think Jacen and Jaina would spend new time with this guy. Yeah, you're a refugee, feel sorry for you. You have the Force. Good for you. Good luck, buddy. And then they had way other important things that are going on in the universe right now. I doubt they'd be sitting there spending time with Finn. But remember, Dark Horse wants you to make you believe Finn is the greatest character in the world. You should love him. See, Jacen and Jaina love him. You should too. And I don't know. I think they're just trying way too hard, because that just doesn't seem... Finn is not an interesting character. I'll just tell you that right now. He's not interesting. In fact, the only character that was interesting is Master Le Lung. He's a Puan who was a feature. Their alien race was featured in episode 3, and he was very interesting until they killed him off later on in the comic book. There's a Vaughn that looks like a WWE wrestler and just kind of skewers him and whatnot. And so you're like, oh man, yeah, like he was someone that I was interested in hearing more about. You only saw him a little bit conferring with Luke here and there and the other Jedi, but I was like, who's that guy? Who's that Jedi Master? I'm interested in hearing more about him. Oh, you killed off your only interesting character, because it ain't Finn, that's for sure. So the first story arc goes 5 issues. If you count 0, it goes 6, but goes 5 issues, and it's not very good. Invasion is just a swing and a miss, especially at this point. I'll give my overall review when I get to the last ones, but off at the very beginning, it just stumbled out the gate. It stumbled out the gate for me. First off, it came out years later. I was super excited when it came out. I was like, wait, there's more story to New Jedi Order? Ooh, but we've actually moved past New Jedi Order now. We're going on to other stories, Legacy of the Force is going on right now. Why did Dark Horse think years later, hey, let's make a New Jedi Order story? I guarantee it was Randy Stradley, even though these were written by Tom Taylor, but Randy Stradley was the one that probably said, hey, now I forgot, is New Jedi Order over? Okay, let's make our own story now. And he knew just to focus on some other lame character, but include all the stars, because obviously they've been around. And there's just a lot of problems. I wouldn't call them continuity errors, because this can fit within the continuity. It's just, there's just a lot of problems. Characters aren't acting the same as they are in later books we see, and I'll explain more of that later, because it's there's more to be described in the second story arc. But off the gate, we're told you must love Finn. Look, he doesn't have a plan anymore. The Vong took over. Aren't you sad for him? But he has the Force. Aren't you rooting for him? Jacen and Jaina love him. They're best friends with him for some strange reason. His planet holds no significant... I mean, it's not like they have this grand army, or they can have They're a very big power player within the Republic. So I don't know. It seems kind of far-fetched, and they're desperately trying to force down your throat, you must love Finn. And Finn is just a boring character. But I'll talk more about Mr. Boring in another video. See you then.